Hello. And now we're actually going way over to the west coast of Canada to bring in Erica and Laura. Look, if ever we needed something about mindfulness and screen breaks, this is definitely the last year, isn't it? So, without any further ado, and we're going to have a couple of fuckle, Oscar counting in Irish. Oh, on many layers. I can hear and see you all smiling, but there you go. And I want you all to join in. Okay, and we do it nice and slow. I'll count one up, and then I want you all to join in. Energy, let's have some fun. Are we ready?
Yes, we are, Tom.
I keep doing that. I've done that all day. And I think we actually have to carefully arrange. We'll start again. Are we ready?
Yes, we are.
Oh. Are we ready? Here we go. Ahain.
Hey.
Hey.
A doe.
Doe.
A tree.
A tree.
A tree.
A caher.
A caher.
A cooing.
A cooey.
A cooey.
Gasta.
Hello, I am Lori, and I'd like you to follow along with me. Move your eyes away from the screen, look around your space, and count how many items you see that are green. Now do the same thing. Look around and see how many items within your space are brown. Are there any items at all within your room that are red? Come back. Let's take a nice big deep breath in. Breathe it all out. So now while you were looking all around your space, were you thinking about any other part of your day or any other part of your life?
So I'm taking over from Lori there, and my name's Erica. And Lori and I have been working online virtually for over a decade now, and at times in an unhealthy way. That changed for us 8 years ago when I had a car accident that left me living in constant pain. And we had to figure out a new way forward, and one in which put health first while still doing exceptional work. And the reality for us was that we discovered that putting our health first actually resulted in us creating some of the work that we're most proud of. And that's also won us some awards. So fast forward another 4 years, with me having started my master's and feeling rather chuffed at my pain management, which was sort of a combination of mindfulness and cognitive behavioral therapy, exercise, meditation, and healthy screen breaks, or as my doctors would call them, pacing. And then I had a second car accident, and one that left me with a really bad concussion, which when I started back into my master's, I discovered was re-aggravating my concussion symptoms from studying my master's online. And so this made me made both Lori and I reflect back and realize that what we'd been learning for putting our own health first and taking those breaks throughout our workday was what we really should be teaching and sharing with our students online.
And then I as well encountered something in my life which made mindfulness a survival tool for me. I got hit with a anxiety disorder out of the blue, where I would start having panic attacks, like 7 panic attacks within 1 hour of my day. And thanks to some really good friends, they had me seek help. And that's where I started learning all these wonderful tools. But, like me, like many of you probably thought that to meditate meant you have to sit on a pillow in a quiet room with incense burning. And I just couldn't do that, especially when you have a lot of anxiety. You can't just sit still with your mind. And a lot of us in the technology world, if we're sitting and we're surrounded by other people, we're working, but we encounter a lot of stress, we can't just stand up and do yoga on the spot quite often. Sometimes we need techniques where no one is really aware of what we are doing, but yet they help to calm us and bring about some mindfulness and a little bit of a break. So the looking around the room and counting colors is an example of one of those things that you can do anywhere. It just gives you a complete break from what you're doing. So I'm going to share one more of those ideas with you right now. That just helps you to come to your breath. It calms you down. It's a scientific fact. You cannot have a full-blown panic attack if you are focused on your breath. So we'll doodle along with you. It's called a square breathing. I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but I'll draw here for you. So I just want you to take a big, deep breath in first. Breathe out. We're going to draw a square. So breathe in for 4 counts as you draw up on your square. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's an awful square. Hold your breath for 2 counts at the top. Then breathe out across. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold your breath for 2 seconds. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Hold your breath. 1, 2. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4. Hold your breath for 2 seconds. One more time around. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can do this. You can doodle on a piece of paper. You can draw an imaginary square in your mind while you're breathing, and I promise you it will help.
So the way in which we've been sharing and demonstrating sort of digital hygiene and healthy living with our students is through activity breaks that we're putting into our units in our online courses. And so this is just a picture here from one of those activity breaks. And so the way we've been doing it is where we can, we tie the activity break in with the unit's theme. And some of those, like the one that's pictured here, is fun and a silly way to get students up and moving and stretching and laughing. Some pull in some of the creations that our past students have made. And some of them are just valuable life lessons like mindfulness and meditation. And then we've further been sharing these activities with the general public, especially after the pandemic hit and the whole online world started going into this state of anxiety. And so with those ones, we've been sharing them sort of across the digital magazines that we write, on some of our blogs that we write, and as well as through digital video and our new classroom platform that we built.
A lot of times you might find yourself working with kids online, and it is possible to teach them some of the same mindfulness techniques that we've even done with you here today. They really do appreciate them. But in terms of taking breaks from the screen and just getting away and creative, there's a lot of fun ways to do it. What you see pictured here is one of my favorites. It's the 1-minute superhero challenge. So you challenge everyone to run away for 1 minute and grab anything they have in their house while you play a superhero song. So while that music is playing, they're running around, grabbing whatever they can. And here you can see what some of our kids brought back, and they're now a superhero, and they're dancing and moving around like they're superhero. And then you ask them to tell you who they are, what their superpower is, and then they walk away from the screen completely, draw a comic strip of their superhero in action. So it could be a virtually led camp, a youth group, a class, anything at all where you do have them engaged with you online, but you can still get them to run away and do other things, pump up the energy, and have a lot of fun.
And so with these, we invite all of you to reuse, repurpose, and remix the various different sort of health and wellness materials that we've been building. Currently, they're sort of spread all across the web. We've got them on my personal blog, Romancing, Emmy Rogers, who's character rewrite, and then in our Story to Go classroom site, which I've written the address wrong for right there. It's storytogo.ca/classroom. And slowly, we're also redeveloping all those activities, so they'll be on the Story to Go classroom site as a part of a health and wellness studio that we're building on the site with open access healthy living experiences. And so with that, if there's anybody who'd like to facilitate new health and wellness and healthy living activities in the studio that we have on the site, we'd love to facilitate that. And as Laurie and I have learnt from our First Nations, whose traditional lands we're on here in British Columbia, we'd like to say thank you. And there's several different languages in our area, but one of the ways of saying that is to bring your hands forward, just like Miss Ella's doing right now.
Thank you.
How do you say thank you in Irish? Is it Gaelic, right?
They will have to fill us in.
Good of Mahagos.
Good morning.
Nom nom nom.